Welcome to another edition of The Way I See It with your host, Ralph Williams. And now, without further ado, Ralph Williams.
And good evening and welcome.
Oh, you didn't know?
To another edition of The Way I See It. Yeah, and we're here tonight, right here in the First Line Consulting Studios. Our new studio sponsor is now First Line Consulting. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Our new, and I welcome our brand new studio sponsor, First Line Consulting. And tonight we also are brought to you by Hillcrest Farm in Richmond, Ohio. Go to Hillcrest Farm today, because if you go to Hillcrest Farm today, all right, they have the best deals around as far as gray hay beef goes, and it's only 45-minute drive from Pittsburgh. It's up the hill from Steubenville, Ohio. They have some of the best beef deals, some of the best ground beef deals that I have even come to see, and I got to tell you, it's the best in the world. Also, you can get a hold of, all right, Hillcrest Farms by calling 740-346-5442 or 740-632-8294. And also don't forget their email address at hillcrestfarmsohio@gmail.com, and also www.hillcrestfarmsohio.com, and also on their Facebook page. Check out all their deals on there as well. I want to introduce you tonight to our brand new studio sponsor, First Line Consulting. First Line Consulting Services. You need to get on their page. I have to tell you, they have the best deal in town as far as developing you a website. If you need a website for your business, for personal purposes, for whatever, get a hold of First Line Consultants today and tell them that you heard it here on this program, because I have to tell you, First Line Consultants are the best at putting together a website. And the monthly deal that they have is phenomenal. And you need to check it out today. All right, let me talk to you today about DJ Fun. Graduation parties are coming up, birthday parties, weddings, special events, company picnics. Please stop calling the rest. Call the best. DJ Fun. That's right. DJ Fun is the best DJ there is in this Western Pennsylvania and around the country area here. 412-545-4317. Give DJ Fun a call today. 15 years of experience in doing DJ work. And let me tell you, his prices are affordable, and you will not have to take out a loan. That number again, 412-545-4317, DJ Fun. I want to talk to you right now about Draft 412 is another one of our sponsors here on The Way I See It. Draft 412 is a sports website. You need to get on Draft 412. They have all the best. They break down everything as it comes to a draft. Even if it's not a draft, they break down players that maybe the Steelers are going to sign, the Pirates might sign, the Penguins might sign, even the Riverhounds might sign. Okay? They break players down. They break down all their statistics. They break down everything about them so that you can basically, okay, what you can do is you can find out everything you need to know about players in any kind of draft. All right. That, once again, Draft 412, and they have a great monthly price for you as well. All right. Okay, tonight we have a lot to talk about tonight, and one of the things that we're going to be talking about once again tonight is we're going to be talking about the Century 3 Mall situation. We're also going to be talking about the county jail. They're under some scrutiny once again, all right? And it's really sad to hear this, but that's the truth. They're under a whole lot of scrutiny, all right? So tonight we're going to talk about that as well. But first we're going to get in our blast segment. And once again, I have to blast Kennywood, all right? And, I'm going to get all these comments. I'm going to get all these emails. I'm going to get all this other stuff going on. Oh, Ralph, you're picking on Kennywood. Oh, Ralph, you don't like Kennywood because they won't help you. Blah, 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 blah. No, that's not the case, everybody. That is not the case at all. Okay? And the case is the fact that Kennywood did it to the Progi people, and this time they really stabbed them in the back. And I think that that's a shame. And I think that, you know what I mean? All right, Kennywood is a embarrassment to this town. And I know what you're going to tell me. Well, I take my kids to Kennywood, and they got this new ride, this Swing Ovation or this Motion or whatever it's called. And Ralph, you got to watch what you say. No, I'm not. I am blasting Kennywood again tonight because they screwed over the Pierogi Festival people once again by having a beer and lager festival there coming up soon. Why would you screw over the Pierogi people? You know what? That's not fair. That's not right, Kennywood. And again, you have egg on your face. Once again, I don't understand why Kennywood is doing this. I don't know why they screwed the Pierogi people. I heard it was about ticketing. I think it was a lot more, you know. So, you know, yeah, exactly. And you know what? Kennywood, forget about Kennywood anymore. And you know what? If you don't boycott Kennywood and help me by sticking it to their wallet after they stuck it to the Pierogi people, then there's something wrong with you, all right? And that tonight is the way I see it. Next, West Mifflin Borough. Once again, we have a problem at Century 3 Mall. And I know, again, what you're saying, all you people in West Mifflin, Ralph, you better not come to West Mifflin because, Ralph, you know what? You're saying stuff about West Mifflin, and I don't like it. Well, you know what? I wouldn't say things about West Mifflin if the West Mifflin officials would do their job right. They should have done something about the Century 3 Mall problem a long time ago, and they did absolutely zero, nothing. And now it's backstabbing them. It's hitting them right where it hurts, right in the back. Everybody's tired of looking at that eyesore. It's boarded up. The parking lots suck and everything else. Yeah, that's right. They suck. Okay. You could have done a lot with that property. You did zero. You did nothing. You didn't go after the owners. Now, I hear in 11 days, whoop-de-doo, 11 days, who cares? This should have happened a long time ago. They're going to have some kind of concentration hearing where they're going to sit down with these owners and they're going to do something about this property. Well, they need to condemn it. They need to tear it down, or they need to do something with it. Okay, they say they have something in mind, apartments. They have all kinds of other stuff going on. They're talking about retail. All right, whatever. I don't care what you do with it. Just get rid of that eyesore of a boarded up mall called Century 3 Mall. Now, once again, a kid climbed up on a roof and he got hurt. Went down into the roof and into the mall, and he's in critical condition at the hospital tonight. That is the way I see it about West Mifflin. Next, I want to talk about something dear to my heart, and that's Erie, Pennsylvania. I love Erie. It's a beautiful place to go in the summertime. I would not go to Erie in the winter because of the cold weather. But Erie is a beautiful place to go in the summertime, whether it's camping, whether it's staying in a hotel, whether it's doing anything. Erie is a beautiful place in the summertime. Presque Isle State Park, okay, the fishing. Also, you have Waldemere Park there that has a water park right inside there. And get this, they're handicap friendly, okay? All right, unlike Kennywood, they're handicap friendly. All right. Waldemere is there as well, and they have a lot of other things to do. Splash Lagoon. They have a lot of activities in Erie. Okay. Erie is a great place. The Erie Zoo is even nice. Okay. But I have an issue, and that's with their airport officials. Okay. Erie, in case you're not aware, just lost last Friday, was the last flight from United Airlines to Chicago, Illinois from Erie. And what has Erie's officials done about it? Nothing. They have done nothing. Okay. And now they're down to one flight or two flights a day from American going to Charlotte only. I've told them about Suncrest Airlines. They should have been reaching out to Spirit and all these other airlines. Frontier, Breeze, Allegiant. They could reach out to all these airlines. Look at the Arnold Palmer Airport. They have Spirit. Look at Atlantic City's airport. They have Spirit. These little dinky airports that have nothing have something with that. Okay? There's a little airline that flies out of Pittsburgh International. It's called Suncrest Airlines or SunWest or whatever it's called. They fly to Bradford Airport. They fly to Williamsport. They fly to Wilkes-Barre Scranton. They fly to State College. They fly to all these little airports. Why can't you make arrangements for them to fly from Pittsburgh to Erie? What's the problem here? Why is this director not doing it? That's why tonight I'm blasting the airport officials in Erie, because their airport is disgraceful. That's disgusting. And it's affecting, and I say affecting, the economy of Erie. And that tonight is the way I see it. All right, the Drift is commenting, what's up, Ralph? How are you tonight, Drift? It's great to have you on, one of my steady watchers tonight here on The Way I See It. All right, our boneheaded segment tonight. All right, the woman at the Yellowstone National Park who decided to try to pet a bull. Can you believe that? Tried to pet a bull. All right, and then the bull started attacking her and her friends. What a knuckleheaded move that is. The man who stole Kenny Pickett's car last week, remember we talked about that, did not show up today for his court hearing. All right. The woman who was accused of assaulting a flight attendant and activating the emergency slide on an airplane got 3 years probation. What a boneheaded move to do. But why would you give her 3 years probation? Well, you know what they say, legal representation is a must. Good legal representation. Okay, next. The employee fired from a Sonic for putting cocaine in a hot dog. Are you kidding me? What a boneheaded move that was. Then you got fired. But, of course, you're probably saying to yourself, well, I don't like to work at Target anyway, but I would rather do that. But to put cocaine in a hot dog, come on. All right, our next boneheaded move here is the man, all right, and this man here is a local man on Sunday, tried to elude police by jumping into the river. Oh, my gosh. Oh, boy. I tell you, they're all out there, aren't they? And that's our bonehead segment tonight right here on The Way I See It. Okay, next we're going to talk about my life story. An interesting week this week. My life story goes like this. Friday night, I was going to a restaurant out in Shaler, okay? Now, this restaurant is up off of Birchfield Road. And those of you who know where Shaler is, you go out Route 8, and it's a restaurant right off of Route 8, okay? And every other week, and I'm not going to mention their name, you may even know who I'm talking about, okay? This was a restaurant that was of a nightmare proportion if you were watching Bar Rescue or Restaurant Impossible, okay? My family and I, my mom, my sister, my mom, my wife, and my wife's friend and myself, we all went there. And they have a Friday night buffet from 4 to 8. Okay, so we decided to go there. We go in the place, it's disgusting. It has a pool table sitting right smack dab in the middle of the dining room, right around where the banquettes and the booths and everything are. All right, nothing clean. All right, the banquet seats were not even clean, were dusty. They were so dusty, you could write your name in it. The drapes were dusty. You could see the dust on them. The window seal was dusty. The windows were not clean. All right, right there is a red flag that a restaurant is not clean. So then my wife's friend goes up and she says, I don't know if we should eat here. She says, the cold stuff was under hot lamps. Okay. Cold stuff is supposed to be, and that's common sense for everybody, it's supposed to be on ice. It's not supposed to be on, with lights under it. Okay. They had watermelon. They had potato salad. They had some kind of stuff there. Now, this place makes their money on elderly people who go there and they eat. The price is pretty okay. All right. You know, I talked to a woman at my church yesterday, and I said, have a good time at Golden Corral, because her and her husband always go to Golden Corral after church. You know what she told me? She said, no, they don't go no more. It's over $40. And that's with the senior citizen discount. She said it's over $40 now to eat at Golden Corral. And that's with the senior citizen discount. Okay. She said her and her husband can't afford it anymore, so they don't go there. What they do is they stop somewhere and get something to eat. They get a takeout and they take it home. Okay. And, you know, sometimes that makes sense. But you know what? You can even get takeout now, and it's expensive. It's $50 for pizza. I mean, literally. I remember when you could get a large pizza with, a couple toppings, and then large pizzas were 12 cuts. Okay. Now, you know, you order a pizza, you get 8 cuts, and that's a large. Okay. And that's with the chain places. That's not with any of these other places. That's what the chain places, okay? So what I'm telling you is nowadays you literally got to take out a loan to order food, whether it's takeout, delivery, whatever. And there's always a fee and there's always something. And then you got to tip the driver. Or if you go for takeouts, you got to go in there and they got this tip jar in a little fish bowl or whatever, okay? All right. So no matter what, somebody got their hand out. It's, you know, it's like this. They got their hand straight out and that's all they want to do. All right. But this place had a lot of senior citizens there. And another thing that got to me was they expected you to eat on hefty paper plates. You know, you go to the store, you buy a pack of hefty paper plates. Well, that's what this restaurant had. Now, let me ask you this. Would you eat there? No, I wouldn't. All right. I don't want to get sick. I can't afford to be sick. I got, this show to put on for you. I don't need to be sick. All right. My wife doesn't need to be sick. My mother doesn't need to be sick, especially my mother. She's up in age. She doesn't need to be sick. You see what I'm saying? All right. You could even die from that kind of stuff. And I could just imagine what the kitchen looks like. All right. I got to tell you this. Watch Bar Rescue. Watch Restaurant Impossible on the Food Network. Watch, what's his face? The one, the chef that does all the kitchen stuff, Kitchen Nightmares or whatever. Watch his shows. Where do you see some of these dirty kitchens? It'll make you think twice about what you eat at a restaurant. Makes you think twice about the cleanliness of a restaurant. So Friday, we decided to go out to Butler County and eat at a restaurant. And I'm not going to tell you its name either because they don't pay me. All right. I don't do that anymore. I don't name names to too many places because unless you're going to pay me. Why should I give you free advertising? You know, one time I gave some people free advertising in an agreement. They were going to do a sponsorship with me and did nothing. And I ended up getting screwed. So I don't do that anymore. Okay. So anyway, we decided to go out to Butler and eat at this restaurant that we like. All right. And it has a buffet as well, but it's clean. The place is spotless. We had very good food, nice service and everything. Everything worked perfectly. So then that's what happened Friday. We had to sort of rearrange our plans because of that. Okay. Also went to the Strip District on Friday before that. The Strip District's nice. I mean, I haven't been down there for a while to shop. My wife wanted to go to this candy place. We went in there. I got some sugar-free candy because if you don't know, I'm a diabetic. Okay. Not only did we do that, we went in there. They saw a few novelties. I got my mother a novelty. Okay. And she really liked it. She was supposed to go with us to the Strip, but she wasn't feeling good at the time. And then later on, she started feeling better. So she went to dinner with us. All right. So therefore, what has happened is the Strip is nice. I went into a couple different places. I went into another place and got some Steeler merchandise and things like that. I think you have a pretty good idea who that is. Again, I'm not going to say their name. All right. So, but I had a good time with that. Wednesday, went out to Monroeville to try to get rid of some mixers. All right. And what I mean by that is I have some extra podcast mixers, so I was trying to get rid of them, and I had some other equipment that I wanted to get rid of. Got rid of some of it, made a little bit of money, but didn't get rid of the whole lot. So I'm working on trying to figure out how to sell them or where to go with them and everything else. So as you know, I had some equipment issues last month. Had to scramble to get some equipment in here, and I did. I got some brand new equipment. Okay. I had to spend considerable amount of money leasing some equipment to get it in here because that's the only way I could afford to do it. All right. They have some of these places that sell electronics and sell things, and they have payment plans, and they don't do credit checks. Again, I'm not going to mention their names. You'll have to look it up yourself because I don't, like I said, throw out any businesses unless they're friends of mine or if they're some kind or they pay. I just don't do it. All right. Tomorrow is going to be a great day tomorrow because I am going to Moon Township tomorrow to meet with the general manager of Beaver County Radio. In case you're not aware, or as I always say, hiding in the sand, sticking your head in the sand, or you got your head somewhere else, or you're at home playing Xbox and PlayStation, and again, you don't know what's going on here. Okay. I am going to take myself and Smoking Jim Frazier. We're taking Sports Corner and putting it on Beaver County Radio. It starts Tuesday, June 20th, 5 to 6 p.m., 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, 12:30 a.m., 1460 a.m. Okay. Every Tuesday after that, 5 to 6 p.m. And if there's a Pirate game, we get to go extra. We get to go overtime. So that could be 20 minutes, a half hour over our normal time if there's a Pirate game. Okay. So that's a nice thing. But tomorrow I go sign, myself, Smoking Jim Frazier, we go sign the contract tomorrow. We're meeting up at a restaurant out in Moon Township. We're going to meet with the GM of Beaver County Radio, St. Barnabas Broadcasting. It's great to be a part of them. I'm glad to be part of the team, and I'm ready to get Sports Corner going on the radio as well. Sports Corner will continue to be on YouTube. I'm going to be putting where the Smoking Jim Frazier and I will be putting our radio show there, and the different shows that we've done. And we're also going to be putting the Sports Corner podcast here, which we're doing here, recording it and sending it to PCTV. We're no longer live on PCTV anymore, but don't worry. We're going to be on a rotating basis down there. I'll be sending Sports Corner, The Way I See It, Ralph Williams One-on-One, Wrestle Talk, and The External Bum. In case you don't know, The External Bum was on today at noon. So watch the local listings for PCTV, Channel 21 Comcast, 47 Verizon Cable. Check out their listings throughout the week. Check it out. The Way I See It's still playing. I just recorded the new one. This will be my last time recording at the studio. For personal reasons, I've decided not to do it anymore, but I am going to do on a rotating basis, sending shows down to them so you'll be able to watch it on PCTV. So just want to let everyone know we're not off the PCTV end. We're just not going to be live anymore. So you won't be able to do that anymore at all. All right. Don't forget Thursday nights, Wrestle Talk with myself, Smoking Jim Frazier. I'll have the Crockett Cup stuff for you from NWA. They had their the National Wrestling Alliance, which is now owned by Billy Corgan. They just had the Crockett Cup finals, and I'll give you all that details on Thursday. 347-205-9631. Wrestle Talk myself, Smoking Jim Frazier, and Mark Mancini. All right, Tuesday, last Tuesday, I spoke at City Council. And we're going to talk about that later on in my key topics. And I'll tell you what I said, and I'll tell you what I believe needs to happen. And I know what you're going to tell me, and that's fine. Okay? But I'll tell you that later because we're going to get started here on our key topics. All right? So, all right, there we are with that. And that was my life story for this week, and we'll see what happens as we go along this week. Things I'm going to be doing throughout the summer. My wife and I went on a anniversary trip to Erie. We love Erie. We try to go every year. Okay. Sometimes twice a year. We've done twice a year. Okay. So, we're going to try to do that this year, barring any financial issues or anything else. Like I had to get, new equipment and all that stuff like that happens. All right. So, all right. Key topics tonight. As you know, I blasted Kennywood earlier tonight. Okay. I'm not real happy with Kennywood. And I'm going to tell you why. They got into a dispute with the Pierogi Festival. And those of you who are not aware, again, all right, Pittsburgh has a Pierogi Festival. Now, they used to have it in different spots, okay? They used to have it downtown. They used to have it at the Cary Furnace. They used to have it, I don't know, North Shore, wherever. I don't know. Over several years now, they've had it at Kennywood. And it's nice because you get to go there, you get to eat pierogies, you get to taste different pierogies from different companies. It's a beautiful thing. And then if you want to ride, Kennywood has some rides going for you. I go there to eat the pierogies, to eat Potato Patch, play some games, have some fun of my own like that. Or they even have live bands there. Okay? So anyhow, I go to Kennywood for that. Well, this year it's not happening. In fact, it's so bad that the Pierogi Fest isn't even going to happen this year because at the last minute, Kennywood decided to do the stick to them. They stuck it to the Pierogi Fest people, arguing over tickets. Now, I don't know what the prices are, and Kennywood is so greedy anymore for $1, they'll squeeze a penny out of Lincoln's head until it falls out. Okay? All right? And it's disgusting what goes on, but it is what it is, and, that's how it's going. Okay? So anyway, I'm not real happy with Kennywood right now. And why? Because last week, they are going to have a beer and lager festival. All right? You dealt with them, but you wouldn't do anything to help the Pierogi Fest. When is everyone going to understand what Kennywood is all about? And if you have any fairness in your heart, and a lot of people don't, and that's why our country is what it is today, all right? Kennywood has done this again, and I refuse to go to Kennywood. I don't care if you give me a ticket for life. I refuse to go to Kennywood. I don't like their tactics. I don't like what they do. I've tried to get them on this show to talk to them. They won't come on. Okay? Once again, I'm the redheaded stepchild. Nobody wants to come on this program. All right? I've had a radio station turn me down, and then instead of calling me up and saying, hey, Ralph, look, I really don't want your show on my station, they go ahead and play games. All right? So, that happens all the time with everybody. All right? But that's what I think of Kennywood. And you can sit there and say to me, oh, Ralph, I love Kennywood. My kids love to go to Kennywood. Where else are we going to go? There's other parks. Go up to Waldermere up in Erie. Go to Cedar Point. Okay? You don't need Kennywood. Do you understand? You don't need Kennywood. Look at what's happened over the years, the incidents there, everything else. Okay? Not just the incidents, but I'm talking about this kind of stuff. Screwing over the Pierogi people. Who in the world do you think you are, Kennywood? You think you're king of the camp here. Oh, well, people come here anyway because the kids want to come here. That's fine. Okay? The kids do go there and they cause problems, and Kennywood can't control it. Okay? We've seen this. We've seen the reputation. We've seen what goes on there. All right? So don't sit there and tell me and complain to me and cry to me, oh, Ralph, you don't know. I know what I'm talking about. And Kennywood is a bunch of dogs to do this to the Pierogi Fest. I knew there was something behind why they didn't want the Pierogi Fest there because they got this beer and lager festival. And so that way, now Kennywood, instead of dealing with nice, peaceful Pierogi people. I was at that festival last year, not an incident. Nothing. This year, you're going to have a beer and lager festival, and you're going to have everybody running all over the place, okay? And, they're going to cause problems because they're drunk. And, Kennywood's not going to be able to handle it. It's going to be on the news, and, that kind of stuff is going to happen. So, you know how it can be, okay? And that's exactly what's going on. So, that's exactly how it is. And when you do the stuff that you do, all right, that is what goes on. So, it's terrible. I don't like it either. But you know what? That's what's going to happen at Kennywood. Vomit. People are going to vomit all over the place. People are going to act like goofs. Then you're going to have DUIs. Then you're going to have people doing this and that. West Mifflin Police is not going to be able to handle it. The county sheriff's office, if they're there, they're too busy chasing deadbeat dads. Okay, if the county police are there or whoever is there, okay, they're going to have major issues trying to control this. But no, they don't want the peaceful crowd. They want that kind of crowd. And that tonight is the way I see it about Kennywood. West Mifflin, once again, I blasted them earlier. They have egg on their face. Why? Because once again, they have an incident at Century 3 Mall. They're having major issues trying to control this. They've had homeless people living in there, drug addicts. They've had people having fires, doing all kinds of dumb stuff in that mall. They've had a guy go in, and I watched the documentary. He walked into the place and did a documentary on Century 3 Mall. So now the West Mifflin officials, they're saying, well, we're trying to get a hold. No, what you should have done was you should have got the sheriff's department or go get the state police or the attorney general and have them go after these people that have this property and say, hey, look, we need to do something with this property. But you didn't do it that way, West Mifflin. You didn't choose to do it that way, okay? So what you did was you ended up making it to where it is now, and now you got kids climbing up on the roof and they're going through the roof and having problems. There's a child right now, there's a teenager that's in the hospital because he climbed up on that roof because there's no security there at all to stop him from doing it. There was no security there to stop the homeless from living in it. There was no security there to help to stop the documentary people to go in there. There was no security there. Okay? No, not tonight. I'm not talking about Jamarcus Russell. I talked about him on my TV show at PCTV. He's a bum. He's one of the bums in sports. So thank you, Noel. But thank you for watching, Noel. I do appreciate it. So anyway, all right, getting back to Century 3 Mall. Again, I gave them suggestions. I give suggestions all the time, either on this program or I've gone and I've said something. Again, West Mifflin officials don't want to come on this program to explain why they didn't get into this before. All right. And I know what everyone's going to tell me or what West Mifflin's going to tell me. Well, legally, we can't do anything, really. Yes, you can. You should have done it a long time ago. But you didn't do anything. You did nothing. That's why we live in a nothing, I don't care society. All right. And this is just another example. And I've given several because I've been right about all this, that this year's theme is nobody cares. All right. You had a guy get assaulted and everybody stood there and watched it. Didn't do anything about it. Nobody cares. All right. Some guy in Shady Side. All right. And he's in Shady Side. He's a 70-year-old man. Everybody and their mother knows who he is. He gets beat up and assaulted. Nobody knows nothing. Okay. People just let it happen. Nobody cares. The cops don't care. The mayor, I don't know what he cares about. He cares about the space stuff. We're going to talk about that later as well. Who cares about space? Right now, we need to worry about cleaning up our downtown. There were thefts there again this weekend. Some people got their car windows bashed out in a parking lot downtown. Once again, here we are. All right. That's the way I see it about West Mifflin. Erie Airport, down to one flight, as I mentioned in the blast segment, one flight. It's the flight from Erie to Charlotte, Charlotte to Erie. They run 2 flights a day, each day, 7 days a week. That's it. So how does Erie International Airport justify themselves as an international airport? How? Okay. They lost the other flight that went from Erie to Chicago. They had a Delta flight that was going from Erie to Denver. They lost that flight. Okay. In the last 2 years, they've lost these 2 flights, and now they're down to 1. They had a small airline that was flying in there. They lost that as well. So what's that tell you, everybody? Let me ask you this. If you were a director of a small airport such as Erie's International Airport, and you didn't do your job, would you be fired? I would fire you because this is unacceptable. All right, Noel says I hope you have a great night and great stream, my friend. Going to have you on in a background while I do dishes. Oh, my. And Noel also says, Ralph, you are in favor of a new dispensaries popping up across the state. I'm disappointed with some of the locations close proximity to school and preschools. Yeah, no, that is a problem. They've got these marijuana facilities everywhere. I was up in Erie. They had 3 of them within a 2-block radius. They're all over the place. They're here in Pittsburgh. They're everywhere. And you're right, Noel, they're all over the state. It's terrible. And they're near schools and and nobody cares. See, this is another example. Noel just gave me another example of why nobody cares. Why isn't anyone doing something about this? You cry about everything else. Why don't you do something about that? All right, let's get back to Erie Airport. If I'm an airport official and I was working at Erie Airport and I had one flight going out of there all the time, the state gives me money, all right, and here's where we are. One airline flying 2 flights out of there, and that's it. Whoop-de-doo. Okay? Whoop-de-doo. So here we are. This is why Erie's economy can't move. If you want to build a company there and you want to be able to bring executives in, you're going to have to use a private jet because Erie doesn't have anything. Oh, here's what the director of the airport authority does. He goes, oh, well, they can go to Charlotte and they can connect. That's not easy, It really isn't. It's not an easy thing. You try it once, the director there. You do it. Okay? Airport flying anymore is becoming inconvenienced to say the least. Not only do you have issues at TSA, ticketing, you got prices going up, you got fees everywhere, you got Buttigieg there, the transportation guy, Pete Buttigieg, who's going on and on about how he's going to fix the airlines, he's going to fix the railroads, he's going to fix Greyhound, he's going to fix Amtrak, he's going to fix it all. But he's done absolutely what? Nothing. All right, nothing has been accomplished. Norfolk Southern is still wrecking trains. They're still having a train derailment. There's, Greyhound can't find drivers. They're leaving people stuck at terminals for 3-4 hours, sometimes days. All right. The airlines can't find pilots. All right. They got morons, like I said, on every single bonehead that I've done for the last 6 months has been about some idiot or some moron who decides to go on an airplane and cause problems, bumping some woman in the head because she had a laptop on, screaming at some woman because her kids were crying. I've had that on a flight. Okay. I've had it on a flight to Vegas. I've had it on a flight to Raleigh. I've had it on a flight to Buffalo. I've had it on a flight to Atlantic City. All right. That's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. So just live with it. All right. That tonight's the way I see it about Erie Airport and flying. Next. Saudi Arabia is cutting back oil production. I thought our country was trying to stray away from OPEC. And we are the biggest sellers of oil and gas in the entire world. But we can't keep our gas prices at a minimum. And we have to kiss Saudi's butt. We have to kiss all these other countries' butt. And we do it all the time. All right. And sometimes it makes me wonder if maybe Donald Trump should be president. And I've told you many times my thoughts about Donald Trump. I feel if he didn't act like a third grader, I think he'd still be our president. I don't like the way he conducts himself on TV. I don't like the way he talks to people. I don't like the way he insults women. And then women support him. He insults them and they support him. Retarded people, disabled people that he makes fun of support him. Okay? But here we are, Saudi Arabia, yet again, cutting back oil production, and our gas prices have to go up. So now everybody's going to panic, and they're not going to drive. Nobody's going to make any money. We're going to have food prices going up again. Our government does nothing. We have interest rates going up already, and we have everything else going on around here with some of this stuff. And here we are one more time, the same old song and a dance. All right. That's the way I see it about that tonight. This next topic is something that I know what you're going to do. You're going to blow up my comment section on my Facebook page. You're going to blow up my email. Okay? I've even lost a couple friends over this, and I don't care because this is my true opinion. The family of Jim Rogers is suing the city. And you know what? I don't think the city should pay. They already fired the officers. Some of them have been fired. Okay? And I know everybody's all upset with District Attorney Steven Zapala because he justified the fact after he did an investigation that the officers were not wrong for what they did to Jim Rogers. All right. The officers are not wrong, but the excessive tasing was wrong. Okay. I will give you that. Once again, here we are kissing the criminal's ass. And that's the bottom line. Once again, we're doing it again. I watch city council meetings. I talk at city council meetings. I get on Zoom. I talk to them. I tell them what I think they need to do. They don't do it. Okay. All right. And this is going to lead into my speech at city council on Tuesday, this past Tuesday. And I might speak again this next Tuesday, which is tomorrow. I highly doubt it because I have to be out in Moon Township at noon for my lunch with Beaver County Radio. And I don't have the time to wait for them to start their meeting at 10:30, and it's always a half hour late. Okay. Then I see the guy that looks like Alice Cooper. He lives up here in Allentown, and he constantly he goes down there. He speaks about all kinds of different ridiculous things. And then you got Miss Brown. I like Miss Brown. She's okay. This past Tuesday, she got carried out by the police. She got escorted out because she was saying some things that were inappropriate. Okay. Then you got this lady that gets on her. She's on her every time she talks about Bon Air, talks about the Bon Air school, talks about the green space, talks about how her husband got screwed over. He was with the paramedics or the fire division, for 40 plus years and didn't get honored by city council like the others did. All right. I don't blame her for being angry. I would be too, but I wouldn't waste my time every city council meeting telling them the same thing and they don't listen. They don't care because they don't. Okay. The Jim Rogers situation was this. He stole a bike from somebody. That's theft. The policeman said, put your hands on your head, get on your knees, and keep quiet. What did he do? He got on his knees and he started rumbling around. He started moving this way, start moving that way, start screaming at the officer, didn't do what the officer told him to do. So it got to the point to where the officer had to taser him. And I know it was wrong. But why do we always sit here and not look at the other end of perspective? I just gave you the facts right there, and that's exactly what happened. I've watched that video 1,000 times. And that officer said to him, and I quote, put your hands on your head, Mr. Rogers, and get on your knees, and please do not say a word. You're under arrest for theft. And then here he comes. What part of get on your knees, put your hand over your head, your hands on your head, and keep quiet me? To everybody in this country, nothing. Because nobody respects our police anymore. And then now we got Jim Rogers' family suing the city, and the city's paying them. I watch these city council meetings, and that's the way I see it about Jim Rogers. But we're going to go into this. I see this at the city council meetings all the time. I watch it on their YouTube channel. Or I watch it on Comcast. Okay? They have their own channel on there. I can watch the city council meeting. I can watch their committee meetings. Every single meeting, they're paying somebody off in a lawsuit. Has to do with the police. Oh, this officer, he gave me a ticket because I parked my car in the wrong spot, but then he dropped his bubble gum on my shoe, so I think I'm going to sue him. Okay? That's where we are in this country today. Not just in Pittsburgh, but everywhere. That is where we are. That we're doing this to police. We're suing. We can't let them do their job. And it comes out of taxpayers' money. Your money if you're a taxpayer. Okay? You know, Bethany Hallam said something interesting on the TV version of The Way I See It a few weeks back when I interviewed her in studio last month. You know what she said to me? She said, Ralph, do you know that the taxpayers pay for these lawsuits at the jail? And citizens act like they don't care about the jail, but you should. Just like you should care about these lawsuits. Some of them were full of baloney, and the rest of them, I don't know. Just people have to make money. You know how it is. Look at Bill Cosby. Look at some of these other stars and some of these other people that these grungy, hungry women and grungy, hungry people decided to go sue. Okay? All right. And this is where we are in this country today with this as well. And city council's useless. City council doesn't care at Pittsburgh City Council. Robert Lavelle, and I know his instincts are right about this. It's right that he wants to create business downtown. Why? Okay. We're worried about plastic bags. That ordinance comes up real soon. We're worried about plastic bags. And I've criticized, all right, city council for this as well. All right. Erica Strausberger. She is the one who put together this thing for plastic bags. She's the one who got on the news and said she didn't know that the South Negley Avenue Bridge was decrepit. Stevie Wonder could see that bridge is decrepit. I've walked over it, and the sidewalk is terrible. I have ridden my scooter over it. Before I was handicapped, I was able to walk over it. Now I even drove my motorized scooter over it. Big fat potholes. You could step in it and fall. The city doesn't care. It's out of your tax dollars. They don't care if they have to pay for it. But when your taxes go up and you're on the air, you're on the air, you're on the TV, and they're crying to me, they raised my taxes. Yeah, they raised your taxes because you don't care about why they have to give out money for lawsuits. Vote these people out. We need better people in there. People that got a backbone. Nobody has a backbone anymore. They put all these progressives in here. You got this progressive group taking over everything in this town. And that's another reason why people are moving out. I want to get out of here, but I can't because I have to watch over my mom. I can't leave. I want to get out of this town completely. It's a disgrace what I've seen. Downtown is a disgrace. Robert Lavelle wants to put a business downtown, and you can't even handle the homeless. Then you got Mayor Ed Gainey, and I'm going to continue to get on him until he does right. And I want to thank him because 2 weeks ago I wasn't here. I was in Erie. He was here at my building, and he says he's going to clean it up. But the sad part about all this is I had to do this in my building here. Nobody else would step up and help me. All right. I had to do this, and I did it because it needed to be done. Management of the Housing Authority of the City of Pittsburgh is disgraceful, and I've said that many times. Castor Binion should be fired. I've said that many times. He's a disgrace. Okay? I have another incident going on, again, with my family. I talked to the manager today. She gave me a line of BS, and I don't have time for it. So I've been in talks with another attorney, and I have an attorney of my own. I have people that have legal qualifications, that do legal things, that go to my church. And the fortunate thing for me is I went to church yesterday for the first time in a while. All right. I haven't been in church lately, and I'm still grieving about my nephew. As you know, all my programs are dedicated to Sean Negley Jr., my nephew. All right. I have legal people that I can talk to, and they can tell me stuff right there. I have a case for what I want to do. All right. I'm not going there tonight, and I'm not going there ever about it. You'll see what happens. And when I win, I'm going to laugh at everybody because I'm going to tell everybody that, hey, you know what? I did this, and now I'm being compensated for it. Yeah, I'm part of the lawsuit group. The groups that go out and they do lawsuits. Why not me? Why not I go out and do a lawsuit? Because it's disgusting what goes on with the Housing Authority of the City of Pittsburgh. Okay? So there we are, Pittsburgh City Council, the weakest group of people I've ever seen in my life. And you know what I told them? I said, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Downtown is a mess, and it's terrible. Disgusting. Bad. Businesses are moving out. Homeless are taking over. Drug dealers have taken over. And oh no, Ed Gainey's afraid to have the police arrest a drug dealer. He's worried about space. He's worried about space in the city. I would drop everything I'm doing to focus on cleaning up downtown if I'm the mayor. And he gets on there again and he goes like this. Oh, we need to get gun legislation. Oh, we're having problems with violence in our streets. Well, why don't you let the police do their jobs and maybe you won't have violence in your streets? Why don't you work hard on busting the chops of Rich Fitzgerald and getting this Schumann Center up and running? Why don't you fix what goes on at the jail? There was another death down there because of overdose. That's the way I see it tonight. Speaking of the jail, they had another death down there because of an overdose. So now they have the whole jail on lockdown because they're trying to find out why all the drugs are getting into the jail. All right. They finally have decided to do that after all these overdoses, after all these people that died down there because they didn't get medical attention. All these people that died down there because there were roaches in their food. Now all of a sudden you want to do something. Okay. This is our Allegheny County Jail. And I know, once again, like Bethany Hallam said, I know a lot of you out there do not care about the jail. But when your taxes go up, this comes out of your tax dollars when they get sued because every time you turn around, there's like somebody dying down at the county jail and their family suing. Just like Jim Rogers' family. Okay. And if somebody died because of somebody else's negligence in my family, I'd probably sue them too. There's your county jail, but you don't care. And it comes down to, I don't care. And that's where we are. It's the way I see it on that. Next, our last key topic of the night. Then we got some general topics. We'll wrap it up. I forgot about our top 10 tonight. I'm sorry. But we'll get to that next week. All right. I have some announcements as well. All right. Our next key topic and our last one of the night. Norwin School District. They want to cut some jobs, 6 teaching positions in the entire district. Here we are, cutting jobs, raising taxes. Now, the people of Norwin, which I want to applaud them because the reason I want to applaud them is simple. Okay? And that is because they said they would take a tax increase to keep these people there. I have never in my life ever seen somebody or something or someone say, you can raise my taxes and I'll be more than happy to pay it if it keeps 6 jobs alive for teachers. Okay. And this is another problem. There was talking again about how, and there's too much of this and nothing of doing. And it happens all the time. All right. Not just once, it happens every time. Nobody does anything, but everybody does this. Okay. I back up what I talk. If I tell you I'm going to do something like this, I called the mayor's office. The mayor's my friend. I called him. I said, Ed, you need to come in here and look at this building. And he did. And he says changes are made. They already made one. We have a new assistant manager. Okay. So there you are. We have new cameras. But we still have a crackpot security force that's here. We still have a public safety director who has no clue what to do. Once again, it's the nothing, and I don't care part of this whole thing that I've said many times, and nobody seems to understand what I'm saying. Okay? Norwin School District, people are willing to take a tax increase to keep 6 jobs there. They can't find teachers. They can't find pilots. PRT, Pittsburgh Regional Transit, cannot find operators. I've said that many times. Greyhound Bus can't find people to operate their buses. And again, now there's a big-time nursing shortage yet again. All right? Nobody wants to go to school to do anything. All right? Some quick small topics here, and then we're going to wrap it up here on the way I see it. Every Monday night, 7:30 right here. I'm sorry, 7 o'clock right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and we'll be on PCTV Channel 21, Comcast 47, Verizon Cable on a rotating basis as well. You can catch the archive version here on my YouTube channel, and I want to thank those of you who have been who viewed the last show, because I got as many viewers for a show that I did not have a guest on, and I had the same viewership. So what that tells me is that this show is hot, and this show is getting there, and it's moving up. Okay. KDKA Radio is the official flagship radio station for WPIAL Sports. All right. Used to be KQV, used to be ESPN Radio 970 AM. Now it's KDKA. KDKA has become this station like KQV. They do news. They do a little bit of talk, but it's mostly news. Like KQV, they used to be news. KQV 1410. You got to have this strong voice like some other people in order to get a radio job in Pittsburgh. Well, I don't need your job because I'm going to Beaver County Radio and I'm putting Sports Corner on there. It's the way I see it tonight. Smoke from Canada's wildfire is here in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I experienced that in Erie, and it's here in Pittsburgh now. It's like following me around. If I was to go to West Virginia, which I have plans on doing soon, if I was to go to Ohio, it would probably follow me there too. I'm going to take a ride out to Hillcrest Farm. All right. That's the way I see it tonight. Next, University of Pittsburgh employees are filling out the paperwork to start a union. Good for them. I'm glad that they're doing that. I really am. And the nurses, they say they don't have that much of a union. They're working double shifts now. And I told you the story about the woman who spent 6 months living at a hospital because they didn't have no nurses. She couldn't see her family for 6 months. All right. How many times have I blasted Brighton Health Center down there in Brighton? How many times? Many. How many times have I blasted nursing homes and personal care homes and UPMC for their nonsense? Many times. And it's getting worse. And now West Penn Hospital is having the same problem. They just ratified a contract with their new union nurses. Okay. UPMC, on the other hand, is hiring private contractors and paying them more money than their own nurses. And shame on you for that. I should have blasted you about that tonight, but I'm sorry. It's the way I see it tonight. Donnie Iris, local Pittsburgh musician. I've been to a few of his concerts, 80 years old. He's got cancer. He had to cancel a couple shows. One in that sorry town of Youngstown, Ohio, which I really don't care about. Okay. Was there, had a bad experience. Maybe you didn't, but I did. The whole town is sorry. You might as well put up a sign that says, this is the sorriest town in the world, and that town is Youngstown. It's a joke. It really is. And I don't care if you folks down in Youngstown hate my guts. I don't care. Got to do something. Got to fix your town. It's never been fixed. Okay? That tonight is the way I see it on that. All right. Donnie Iris has cancer. Had to cancel a couple shows. I hope he gets better. He's supposed to be well enough to come back in July. Some announcements to make. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Sports Corner right here on our 4 platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. All right. I have Kip Gross, who is a former Major League Baseball player. And the reason I didn't have him on last week, he got jammed up on a flight trying to get to Los Angeles from Seattle. And he got jammed up on an airplane. So he couldn't talk to me. We couldn't have him here. But tomorrow he's coming here tomorrow. I have Matt Venzel coming on. And Matt Venzel was on the TV show the day that Cal Dubas got hired by the Penguins. So he's going to come on tomorrow and talk about Cal Dubas, who is the new director of player personnel for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Okay. Also, I'm going to have Leo Haggerty on. And Leo is from Amped Up Sports, who is one of my new sponsors for Sports Corner. Okay. And he works with Amped Up Sports. And he's going to be here to talk about the Florida Panthers. As you know, in the case, again, if you don't, the Florida Panthers are in the Stanley Cup Finals. So he's going to be on tomorrow to talk about that. All right. Okay. So that's where we are with all that. So, okay. Yeah. That's where we are there. Okay. But anyway, Thursday night, Wrestle Talk. All right. with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, and also with Mark Mancini. And that's Thursday night. 347-205-9631 is the number for that. All right. And you can listen in on Wrestle Talk. We have a lot to talk about. Saturday morning, 9:30 a.m., Blog Talk Radio, the External Bum podcast. All right, we talk about bums in sports for 30 minutes from 9:30 to 10 o'clock. Blog Talk Radio. Don't forget Saturday, 5 p.m., PCTV, Channel 21 Comcast, 47 Verizon Cable. The archive versions of Sports Corner. That slot will not be filled by me in the next month or so. So I just want to let you know that once again. My show will be on, but it's going to be on a rotating basis. They're not consistently live. All right. This has been The Way I See It. I am Ralph Williams. You guys all have a great night. Thank you for watching and be safe.